Recently, I've been having some quite strange experiences with cannabis lately, and just bear in mind, I am medicated on L-Vans for ADHD, and I do not use cannabis whilst I'm under the effects of them. I wait until they wear off, and I've been introducing cannabis back into my life because I've always noticed that I've had like a particularly unique relationship with it compared to some people I've met. I've actually met other people like myself who, well, react to cannabis in a psychedelic sense, and I've been noticing it even more so now, especially with the practices that I do in my waking sober state. Meditation. I do a lot of like float pods and wellness stuff, binaural beats, deep contemplation, lots of just sort of like inner work stuff. And I've noticed that lately cannabis is actually, instead of in the past, I've talked about this in the past, where like I felt like my 4-ACO DMT trip, my 90 milligram one, really rewired my brain, and it completely changed the way cannabis worked with me. And it didn't go back to like feeling euphoric. It felt like ridiculously psychedelic to the point of being too intense for me to really handle. So I had to drop cannabis, and unfortunately I think that's a big reason why I got addicted to ketamine, on top of many other circumstances in life that resulted in that. And now I've been reintroducing cannabis back into my life, not with the flower, but rather with like a live like resin vape, which I find a lot more manageable, and I have very, very, like, as I say, micro tokes on it, and I find that it really expands my awareness and makes me more creative. And it doesn't make me like how I used to, where I could just like smoke weed and just like dope about and just just a potato, man. Holy fuck! Like I'm skyrocketing my brain and its cognitive faculties using cannabis, and using it like wisely, and not abusing it, and having like this healthy relationship with it. And I've started to really now acknowledge it as one of the most beneficial psychedelics for myself, because I mean, there's so many people, how many times you see them online on my comments or just the internet in general, and they're like, there's no way that cannabis did this to this person, it's not psychedelic, it's your plan, shut the fuck up. And it's like, well, you do realize people are wired up so radically differently than yourself that you can't even imagine it. Like, I've had back in the day when I used to smoke weed just casually as a stoner in my teens, there were people who freak out and have like psychedelic trips with us, and then a lot of people would sort of belittle them and be like, oh well, what do you mean it's just a bit of weed, how can it affect you like that, are you allergic to it or something? It's not even the fact that like they're allergic, it's more the fact that like their brain, the way cannabis interfaces with their brain chemistry, it produces a psychedelic trip. And it's also the same reason why like some people might take mushrooms and they don't have any experience, because the psilocin can't actually like interface with your serotonin and all the other. I'm not a massive expert, unfortunately, on the spot, so forgive me, but the way it interfaces with your mind, it won't actually like be able to produce the effect, if you know what I mean. Like I say, I'm not a professional, I just try to talk about psychedelics from this grounded sort of just perspective that I have of not knowing fuck all. But yeah, I've noticed that cannabis has been really beneficial for me lately, and I was just wondering if anybody in the comments has a similar relationship with cannabis. Do you find it psychedelic? Because I've featured many reports in the past of like really out there psychedelic trips on edibles and even THC, various like distillates are they called, or like analogs like HHC. Like I've talked about in the past when I had HHC, I think it's HHC in Prague, where it's legal, and I had these gummies, and the woman, she thought that I was a proper stoner, so she was like, oh, maybe two will get you to how you usually get when you're smoking weed at home. And I'd not really smoked weed a long time, but I thought that I'd still have like some level of like perma-tolerance. And let me tell you, that was a complete fucking lie, because I went absolutely psychotic, and I was having like intense like bad trip level like god delusions, like how I would do on like the worst psychedelic trips, but I've actually never had on psychedelics. And I just thought everyone looked at me, everyone was watching me, and everyone knew who I was. It was the peak paranoia, and it really wasn't very healthy. Sorry, I'm just gonna change my my arm for a sec. And I think now, at first when I was doing it, it was just as intense as that. But then I've realised now that how much I actually need to take, and also a lot of like breathing techniques to sort of calm yourself down if your cannabis does make you a bit fucking skits can't. The best method for me is the 4-7-8 breathing method, where it's like 4 breaths in through your nose. I say 4 breaths, I mean like 4 seconds, then you hold it for 7 seconds. And blow it out for 8 seconds like that. Terrible guide that was, but if you managed to follow along, then hats off to you. And I'll leave you a love heart in the comments. So really, I just wanted to make this video because I have actually really just like transformed my relationship with cannabis, and it's been really beneficial for me because I realised that when I did actually smoke it when I was younger, it really was like, the crux of it was medicinal, but then it became a euphoric sort of escapist tool. And then it also came to bite me in the ass when fucking 4-ACO DMT flung me into God knows wherever it sent me, and then brought me back as like some half human, half grey hybrid is like what I feel like sometimes, and it's not as nice as it sounds. It's quite alienating. But yeah, cannabis now, I'm really synergizing with it now. It's amazing. It's really improved my mental health. It's really helped alleviate, say, like cravings for ketamine, which I still struggle with as a recovering addict. It's been massively beneficial, and it's cool to see how my journey with cannabis has come full circle, because I made that video a long time ago, my struggle with cannabis addiction, and then I did the one in Prague where I talk about how I went insane off HHC, and that was like, well, I'm never doing this again. And I've been slowly but surely over the years just trying to not even enjoy it, but try to figure out why my brain wasn't interfacing with it anymore. And I think it's not just because that 4-ACO DMT trip sort of triggered something, it opened some portal to make weed psychedelic feeling for me. Also, there was an effect on like the physical euphoria. Well, it ended up being dysphoria because of like the way I'd abused my brain with ketamine and just like overloading fucking glutamate, well, frying it and like having none of them systems playing with full power. NMDA receptors getting absolutely tarnished, and I believe that cannabis actually needs a lot of those receptors and neurotransmitters in your brain to work correctly so that you can get the high, the nice relaxation, the physical feeling. And because I'm an ADHD person, I find it very difficult to relax and sit down, and this is why I'm obsessed with like meditation and all these other activities, because I'm just desperately trying to quell the fucking like on edge beast within. And it's been a lifelong journey, but I'm getting to a point now where I'm feeling a lot more peaceful and relaxed. I just wanted to know how your relationship is with cannabis. Are you a daily stoner? Do you use it sparingly? Do you avoid it? Have you had any psychedelic trips on it? I think we need to be more open-minded to the fact that like some people are ridiculously sensitive to weed and it can actually produce trips. I don't think that's me like fucking try to change the narrative or anything. I think it's really obvious now from all the anecdotal evidence, and now I can even prove it within my own direct experience. So what are you gonna do? Hope you guys enjoyed this. Much love, and I'll see you on the other side.